Facebook friends. Happy Monday. I'm with the lovely Daniel. We are currently in Carolina Beach in between live shots talking about this tropical mess. Potential tropical cyclone 10. What a mouthful. Yeah, so we are tracking this as it's moving closer to us. Is it a big deal? No. Is it going to be gross over the next 24 hours? Yeah. Hardly a breath of wind right now in Carolina Beach, and it's just a very light sprinkle. I'm under this gazebo at the boardwalk, and it's a little sprinkle out here, but really nothing too bad. I just talked to my husband who's on College Road, and he says it was pretty bad out there. And on my way in, you're getting those heavier bands that move through, and you can see some ponding on the road. So be careful if you're about to head home or if you're going to be out and about this evening. Should you stay home and bunker down? No, you're okay. It's not going to be nearly as bad as what folks are dealing with Harvey down in Texas. So it is just going to be a nasty tropical mess around here. Could it turn into Irma? That would be our next named storm. Possibly. The disturbance is dealing with a lot of wind shear, and that basically tears up the system, so it doesn't have an area of closed circulation, although it does have winds of 40 miles per hour. So you would think, why is that not a tropical storm already? It's because it doesn't have that good center of circulation. So as of right now, is this going to become a huge issue? No, but you are going to be seeing a significant amount of rain, at least over the next 24 hours. I think by about lunchtime tomorrow, things should be wrapping up in terms of rainfall, but you will likely see those clouds throughout the day tomorrow. It should be kind of a gloomy day once again. But in terms of wind speeds, looking at about 20 to 30 miles per hour for inland spots, a little bit stronger near the coast. And then you could have a peak wind of maybe about 50 miles per hour, maybe some isolated wind peaks. But for the most part, shouldn't be a big deal. You shouldn't have to deal with a lot of power outages or anything like that. It should be it's kind of a gloomy day around here. Like I said, not even a breath of wind down in Carolina Beach right now, but some areas are definitely dealing with a little bit more in terms of rain than what we're seeing here in Carolina Beach right now. Minor beach erosion, definitely going to see high rip current risk for today and then into tomorrow. Seen a couple surfers in the water, but for the most part, people are not on the boardwalk. You would imagine a summer evening out here on the Carolina Beach boardwalk that there would be tons of people out here, but this weather is just kind of gloomy and yucky, and I think that's the scientific term, right? That nobody wants to be out here, and so good reason. Everybody's just kind of staying dry. Ryan, he said, how much wind will there be? Most places should see below tropical storm strength winds, maybe a few isolated gusts above that, as in above 39 miles per hour, but for the most part, could be a little breezy at times. But it was breezy all weekend long. We had that northeast wind, pretty brisk, especially for along the beaches. You had to deal with those kind of windy conditions all weekend, and right now it's actually less windy than what it was over the weekend. So something to think about as well. Rainfall totals anywhere from 3 to 7 inches, but the 7 inches would be on the high side. I think for the most part will be between the 3 to 5 range, but you could see some isolated higher totals, especially when you see those heavier rain bands start to develop. So if you guys have any questions, comment below. I'd love to answer them. If you're concerned at all, if you have any questions, I would love to answer them. I got a few minutes before our live shot. Daniel is going to be coming up on 7 o'clock on CBS, and then I'll be there as well, and again also at 7:30. But really not much to talk about here. It's pretty calm. I mean, the purpose of us going live and whatnot is not to hype things up. It's just to give you a look at the current conditions, and really it's fine right now. Going to see things start to deteriorate a little bit more as we go into the evening hours, and especially overnight. I think that's when the peak is going to be. But as of right now, not a huge deal. Those areas that are seeing some heavier rain, obviously going to be an issue in terms of flooding, and maybe potentially some river flooding later on into the week, say Thursday and Friday. Once this rain kind of moves its way into the river basins, you might have a little bit of that. But in terms of this tropical mess, not going to be a huge deal with us. Surf, there's a little wave out here. I mean, I don't say you should be in the water because there's a high rip current risk, but there's a little wave out here and a couple surfers in the water. And it's not as choppy as it was over the weekend either. But again, high rip current risk, something to keep in mind. We had Ocean Rescue come by a couple times. Looks like Ocean Rescue's down there along with PD. But as of right now, there's really not that many people on the beach. I can show you what I'm looking at right now. I guess that would be probably a little helpful. The sea oats right here, they're not even moving. If you see the camera moving, that's just my shaky hands. So, just a gloomy scene, those cloudy skies, a little light sprinkle out here. So what does this weekend look like? I know, can you believe it? It's kind of like the unofficial end of summer, and I totally hate that. There's a chance for some showers, not a great chance, but about a 30 to 40% chance of rain Saturday, Sunday, a little bit lower on Labor Day, but just kind of that typical summertime weather pattern that we're expected to have over Labor Day weekend. So Daniel's over here getting ready. You notice that the boardwalk is soggy down here, so it's pretty much going to be the case. You're going to have a little bit of wind, a little bit of rain, and that's about it. Some humidity. You see my hair is fuzzing out, but overall shouldn't be a big deal around here. Kind of, I guess people in Texas would say that we are quite lucky to deal with what we're having instead of Harvey that they're dealing with now. Just absolutely insane seeing the images come down there. Keep them in your thoughts and prayers, especially as they're still dealing with Harvey down there now. So I'm lucky this is all we have to deal with here in southeastern North Carolina, that's for sure. But I'm gonna go get ready. Daniel's over here kind of getting the live shot all ready to go, got our generator running. So if you want to come down to the boardwalk, we'll be here for the next hour or so. If you want to come just like say hey, love to say hello for a little bit. So alright, if you guys have any more questions, I'll be like looking on my Facebook and whatnot over the next little bit. So if you have any questions, just comment below. Alright, stay dry, my friends.